Boom. Travel Diaries, Punta Cana. This thing is my nemesis. I just want to introduce you to my nemesis very quickly. This is just no Coca-Cola. This is the elusive glass bottle Coca-Cola. This thing has been giving me like a sweet, sinister, like seductive look the entire time. It's just glistening in the refrigerator, just looking at me, just begging to be drank. I picked one heck of a time to quit caffeine. Ugh. Okay, big one today. Big video today. Probably one of my biggest Punta Cana videos I've made. Not from a production standpoint. This is just my travel diary series. I go one-on-one with the camera. I just give you like a casual monologue. I check in from time to time. I do like trip updates and comparison videos. Sometimes I get a little personal. Travel hacks, you know the deal. This is a big one because I'm talking about having the best time in Punta Cana. You're coming to Punta Cana, you want to have the best time ever, right? You want to have the most fun ever, right? Well, you better choose the right hotel. And today I'm talking about the two premier upscale party hotels. So if you want to have a great time, you want to have like a fun party crowd, and you also kind of want to have a little bit of luxury, there are two heavy hitters, and they are right next to each other. One is Breathless, and the other one is Royalton Chic. Now I'll let you know right now, I just stayed at both of them 4 nights each, back to back. I'm fresh off those trips, and I've let my mind process everything. My thoughts have settled, and now I'm gonna deliver them to you. Spoiler alert, there's one clear winner here. A defined, notable winner. And the other one was pretty underwhelming, and it's not the one you think. You probably know what I'm talking about already, but it's not really which one. I mean, it is. It's which one wins, which I'm gonna tell you, but it's why. Why is one such a clear winner, and why was one so underwhelming? Let's get into it. I'm just kind of gonna make this casual. The rooms at Breathless. I thought the rooms at Breathless were atrocious. They were hideous. It was like a bad acid trip. Not that I know what a bad acid trip would be like. It's almost like they designed those rooms as a sinister joke. You remember when you were in school and you had the Crayola crayons, and when you got the big box, there were some duds in there, and those are always the ones you gave to other people to borrow or to use, right? I mean, I remember like burnt sienna orange or sienna orange, burnt orange, that was one I'd give away. Lime green is another one I'd give away. It's like they used those colors as the motif at Breathless. The rooms were hideous, they were outdated, they were old, they were worn, and they smelled funky, they smelled musty. I've heard of Punta Cana hotel rooms having like that moldy, musty smell. Some people talk about Majestic Mirage having that smell. I stayed at Mirage, and those rooms smelled like a high-end luxury store. You know, they smelled amazing. But I guess it happens to these rooms from time to time. The rooms just all around were atrocious at Breathless. Royalton Chics were a little disappointing from a size perspective. I think for that price point, you should get a bigger room. They were new, they were modern, they were trendy, they had cool lights in there. Again, everything was pretty much brand new, so it felt clean, it felt modern, and it felt fresh. I'm going with Royalton Chic all the way for the rooms. All right, restaurants. Both these restaurants I think were decent. I thought that one was more decent than the other. Breathless had beautiful looking restaurants. I mean, Breathless is an expensive property. It's 3 times more. That's right, 3-fold more than Royalton Chic. You're paying a hefty price to stay at Breathless. So the restaurants better be amazing. The property better be amazing. But I'd say the restaurants at Breathless, they looked beautiful. They had decent food. Where they really lacked was in menu diversity. There were only like 4 or 5 dishes per restaurant that were available. So that was kind of unfortunate. I think for that price, not only should you have top tier ambiance, which you had, you should have good food, which they had. It was above average food. You should have a lot of selection, and the menu selection wasn't there. Although Royalton Chic's restaurants were not as beautiful, they did have a couple really beautiful restaurants. I think Taj being the most beautiful. The food was almost as good, and in fact, my meal at Piscari was one of the best meals I've ever had in Punta Cana. My meal at Piscari was better than any meal I had at Breathless. But the thing about Royalton Chic's restaurants is that they had like full-blown menus. Like these menus were larger than any menu you'd see at a regular restaurant. The Piscari menu had like 30 things on it. The Taj menu had a bunch of stuff on it. So I like Royalton Chic's restaurants more. They didn't look as nice, but I'm not going to a restaurant to stare at the walls. I'm going to restaurants to find fun dishes and to eat good food. So for that reason, I am giving the restaurant category to Royalton Chic. All right, beaches. Both of these beaches were average. They were kind of underwhelming. If you've never stayed in the Bavaro region of Punta Cana, you'd probably think the beaches up here were pretty stupendous. But if you stayed in Bavaro, the beaches up here are a little underwhelming. The sand is a little more coarse. It's a little more dense. It's a little bit more brown. It's not like the white, fluffy, like ultra soft sand you get down in the Bavaro region. But the beaches were adequate. They were so similar. Again, these properties are pretty much right next to each other. I'd probably call this category a draw, but if I did have to pick a winner, if I was forced to pick a winner, I'd probably give the slight edge to Breathless. Okay, we're gonna get to the pool party, and the crowd, and the vibe, and the party. Just hang on. We just have just one left, and that's the decor. I mean, how do you feel in the hotel? How's the hotel make you feel? A lot of that is about the decor, and these two could not be any more opposite. Breathless was synthetic. It felt kind of artificial, and that's the thing they're going for. They're going for that vibe. It's very much like Hard Rock, in my opinion. It had like this Hollywood hip Art Deco type vibe, lots of neon lights, lots of opulent gaudy fixtures, you know, lots of glittery shimmery stuff. It was just like very ostentatious, okay? So if you like that Hard Rock Hollywood hip like Art Deco like gaudy type design, you may love Breathless. For me, I just didn't feel comfortable there. I mean, I didn't feel uncomfortable, but I didn't feel comfortable. Now, I will say that compared to Breathless, Royalton Chic is very organic-like. It's very natural. It's very simplistic. But the vibe I got at Royalton Chic was very much like a Miami hotel. You know, lots of whites and light grays. The property just overall kind of really felt like beachy. And again, it felt like very Miami Beach. It was just more natural. It's almost like it wasn't trying. And because it wasn't trying that hard to have like a vibe or a theme, it did have a tremendous vibe or a theme. So I personally felt much more comfortable. I liked the theme and the vibe at Royalton Chic much more than the theme at Breathless. But again, Breathless was beautiful. Breathless was beautiful at night too. The way that the grounds were lit up at night with all those neon lights and the pools were illuminated. The Breathless property is unbelievably gorgeous. So I can't really say anything bad about it. All I can say is that ostentatious, gaudy, opulent Hollywood hip type theme really isn't for me. It just felt a little forced. But the Breathless property definitely is beautiful. But I have to be honest, and the property's vibe that made me feel more comfortable was Royalton Chic. You know, the Breathless main pool might have been the most beautiful and awesome standard pool I've seen in Punta Cana thus far. I talked about that at length in my experience video, which is below if you want to watch it. It was just well designed. It was huge. It had like lots of twists and turns. It was just a gorgeously designed pool. That's all I can say. So the party pool at Breathless is kind of located in the middle of the property, and I thought that was smart. It kind of keeps like the foot traffic and kind of that rambunctious type energy away from like the regular parts of the property. Flipping over to Royalton Chic, Royalton Chic pretty much had like two general pools. The main general pool was where the swim up bar was. It was much smaller than Breathless is. It wasn't as beautiful, but it still had a really great vibe, and it had really cool cabanas with private pools that lined the entire thing. The item that I really liked about Royalton Chic's pool is that its huge pool, its general pool, converted into a party pool when the pool party started. And I think it's really important to have like a huge party pool because people feel more comfortable, there's more space, and if the party grows, the pool can support it. Also, the huge general pool that turns into a party pool is right next to the other main pool. So if you want to take a break and go to a quieter setting, you can easily go back and forth, as opposed to Breathless, where it was a little bit of a walk to go from the main pool to the party pool. So on this one, I'm going to declare the pools a draw. It's really too tough to call. It just depends on what you like. Maybe you like the smaller isolated party pool, or maybe you like the fact that the large pool converts into a party pool later in the day and you can kind of be there earlier in the day just to relax, or that the two pools at Royalton Chic are next to each other and you can go easily back and forth. There's really no clear winner here. It's really personal preference. So on this category, I'm calling it a draw. All right, so which one has the better pool party? I know if you're still watching this video, that's exactly what you want to know. This one is interesting. It's no secret that I was a little underwhelmed with my stay at Breathless, and I think the lack of the overall pool party and party vibe is a major contributor of that. Yes, it had a party pool. Yes, it was fun. Yes, it's one of the best places to catch a vibe in Punta Cana. However, compared to what I experienced at Rio Republica and then Royalton Chic afterwards, it just really didn't satisfy me as much as I thought it would be. Each of these pools are gonna have a different party each day, whether it's the foam party or a DJ party. They're always gonna have a different theme. It's just kind of luck of the draw on which day you go. I was lucky enough to find the foam party at Royalton Chic, but I also know they do have a foam party at Breathless as well. I did not get a chance to experience that, but I did go to the pool parties at each property on multiple days, and I will say that the pool party at Royalton Chic was better, and I will explain why in the next category. Last but not least, this is the big reason why Royalton Chic is better than Breathless, and it comes down to the crowd. The crowd at Royalton Chic was much better from what I experienced. Again, I know the crowds can shift from what they're like on the weekend to the weekday, what they're like in February and March as opposed to October and November, but the crowds aren't gonna shift that dramatically. They're gonna shift, but they're not gonna shift completely. And I was just amazed at how old the crowd was at Breathless. Like, the crowd was actually older than the crowd at Hard Rock, which I found surprising. And here's why the crowd at Breathless was so old, and it really took me a while to think about it, but once I kind of thought about it, it made so much sense. Breathless is an extremely expensive property. I paid well over $600 a night for that room. Not a lot of people can afford that for a hotel stay, especially for multiple nights, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nights. Because the cost is so high at Breathless, it's really prohibitive to a lot of the 20-somethings and early 30-somethings. I think you need to be established in your career and established in your finances to afford a vacation at Breathless. And because it's so expensive, $500, $600, $700 a night, depending during the time of year that you go, it's gonna keep away that really young and sexy crowd that you might find at a Rue Republica or even at Royalton Chic. Royalton Chic is a couple $100s a night. I think it's one of the best values in all of Punta Cana. And with a couple $100s a night, I think you're gonna find that younger, sexier, more energetic crowd. As the prices go up, I think usually, of course there are always caveats, but usually as prices go up, typically the age range goes up as well. The average age for a Mercedes owner is much higher than the average age for a Kia owner, and that translates through multiple products and services, and it's very true here at hotels in Punta Cana. Usually the younger crowd is more of a party crowd. That's not to say that people in their late 20s, 30s, and 40s and 50s cannot have a great time. But I'm talking about that quintessential party crowd. I'm talking about the Vegas party crowd, the Miami party crowd. I'm talking like the real deal party crowd and the real deal party vibe. And if you are looking for that, I think the better of these two choices is absolutely Royalton Chic. So those are my thoughts. Again, if you're looking for both of my videos, check the link below. I stayed at both those properties 4 nights each, back to back on this trip. So my thoughts are still very, very fresh. If I had to choose one, I would choose Royalton Chic 9 times out of 10. The only reason I would choose Breathless is if they remodeled their rooms, because I would like to give that property another shot. But overall, I thought Breathless was egregiously priced. I don't think the value is there. I think that high price keeps out the type of crowd that a lot of partiers want to party with. Overall, it just wasn't the party hotel that I thought it was going to be. It could have been an off day, but then again, I was there for 4 of them, and I'm really here in peak season, so I don't think it was really that. I just think that the hype wasn't real on Breathless, like it or not. So yeah, if I had to choose one of these, it is Royalton Chic 9 times out of 10. I love the price. I love the Miami South Beach type of vibe and style. The crowd was much more easygoing and cool and relaxed and fun. And overall, I thought the rooms, yeah, they were a little small, but the rooms definitely had a cleaner, fresher, and more modern vibe.